Okay, so thank you, Mr. Hundina. Okay, first of all, I would like to pay my greater respect to Mr. Rotanet, Deputy Managing
Yeah.
Director of Esalida Institute of Business and Chief of Academic Affairs. Mr. Frederic Benolim, our guest speaker today. Mr. Thap Chanton, the Junior Head of Department of Foreign Languages, faculty members, lecturers, and all participants who attend the workshop today. Today, AIB has organized an online workshop under the topic Presentation Skill, which is conducted by Mr. Frederic Benolim. So now I would like to announce the four agenda that we have during the workshop today. So our first agenda, which is opening remark, that is that was given speech by Mr. Rotanet, Deputy Managing Director and Chief of Academic Affairs. Our second agenda, which is photo session. So I would like to remind all of you that in this session, we would like to have all of you to turn on the camera for taking a beautiful photo. So now let's start to our third agenda, which is the main agenda in this workshop is presentation skill, which is speech by Mr. Frederic Benolim, English Language Fellow Program from USA. So our last agenda, which is fourth agenda, is Q&A session that all participants have 15 minutes to ask the question that related to our topic today. Thank you. So now let's go to our agenda. The first agenda, I would like to invite Mr. Rotana, Deputy Managing Director of Esalida Institute of Business and Chief of Academic Affairs, to give an opening remark for this workshop. Please welcome Mr. Rotana. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for your introduction. And first of all, I would like to say good afternoon to Mr. Federic, and good afternoon to Mr. Hapchanton, head of DFL. Yeah, and good afternoon to lecturers, especially students. Yes, today I'm very great honor to meet all of you, especially Mr. Frederic, yeah, who is the fellow, yeah, who also sharing with our lecturing staff and our student with the new knowledge and about the different topic. Yes, last time I saw that you have present a very great topic with our lecturing staff for the how to teach vocabulary to the student. And right now today, yeah, you also share with our lecturing staff and also student, yeah, with another different topic related to presentation skill. Yes, that's a great topic. Yes, today, as a representative of Managing Director, Mr. Dr. Ponaran, and Ratna is honored to deliver an opening remark as well as a short message to all AB student and public. Yeah, today's topic is a presentation skill that we know that is play a crucial role as yes student that require for the job, yes, and also for their studies for in the class. The reason that our student require they need that skill for present their assignment as an individual or as a group presentation, and someday they use that for thesis defense, yeah, with their lecturing staff to fulfill the course requirement and also develop their presentation skill also. Yes, moreover, to qualify the students, qualify, yeah, of the student, they really need the presentation skill, yeah, to fulfill that. And after they graduate from university, they also need that skill to uh, to use it for their project, yeah, for present the job to their manager, and sometimes they present to the boss, yeah, to convince them to for allowing for yeah, to fill the task they need for approval from their boss also. Yeah, I think that skill is really important to the student, even though in when they are studying and also after they graduate from AIB. Yes. So I have the short message only for the student, and also, yes, thank you very much for Mr. Federic that come to share with our lecturing staff and our student. Yes. So I would like to announce the seminar officially open from now. And please, students, enjoy the important seminar with and don't forget to take notes all the important points yet to apply for your study and your works. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. And good luck. Yes.
So thank you very much, Mr. Rodratna, for your meaningful speech. On behalf of all participants here, I would like to wish you healthy and success in all your tasks. Thank you. Okay, so now all the participants, including all the lecturers. The second agenda, which we will talk about, is photo session. So I would like all of you to request to turn on their camera and show your gorgeous smiles and take a beautiful photo together in order to be a memorable for attending the workshop today. Please turn on your camera and smile.
Okay, everyone, don't be shy. Please turn on your camera, please.
Turn on camera.
Okay,
Turn on the
so
camera and take off your mask. Okay, take off the mask.
Please wait a minute.
great.
Thank you. Turn on the camera, please, everyone.
okay, so everybody, please be well prepared. I will count 1, 2, 3, then shoot the video. Shoot the photo twice. So, everyone, are you ready yet?
Yes, ready.
Okay, so now let's start with the first photo. 1, 2, 3. Smile. And for one more photo. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, so thank you so much for your charming smile. Okay, everyone. So now let's go to our third agenda, which is the main agenda in our speaking today, which is presentation skill that will talk by Mr. Frederic Benolim, an English language fellow program from USA. So I would like to invite Mr. Frederic to present under the topic presentation skill. Please welcome.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I see we have very many people coming. Let me share my screen. All right. I don't know if you see what I'm projecting.
Yes, we can see.
Great. All right. Thank you again for everyone. If you can kindly mute yourself because I'm getting some feedback. Yes, thank you again for inviting me to talk to you for 1 hour. We have a virtual webinar here to focus on speaking with confidence and how to deliver effective presentations. So I just wanted to tell you that we only have an hour, so I can't give you everything I know, and you won't be perfect speakers, but as as the introduction was presented, you should take some notes. You should take some notes. All right, so let's go. I am with the English language program supported by the consulate here in Ho Chi Minh City, but ultimately my boss is in Hanoi at the US Embassy. We took a photo to share with other schools and universities in the region, not only in Cambodia, but also in Laos and Vietnam as well, so that they can see that you're having a good time and you're having a fruitful seminar, that you learn something, so that other teachers can also come and teach near you. Now, a little bit more about myself. This is the map of the United States. I come from the state of New York, but I grew up as a little boy in Washington State. You might have heard of Washington, D.C. That's the capital, but Washington State is on the other side. And I eventually found myself in New York to study and teach. If you don't know where Washington is, maybe this landmark you recognize. That's the Space Needle in Seattle, Washington. And you know this one in New York, the Empire State Building, right? And I am here in Ho Chi Minh City. I don't live in that building, but I live nearby. In my background, I'm a middle school teacher, grades 6 through 8 in New York City. My students look like this on the right-hand side. They come from places where they speak Spanish and French and Africa, and some even from Saudi Arabian countries where they speak Arabic. I've also been to Mexico on a Fulbright scholarship, helping teachers there, and also went to Vietnam in 2019. It was such a great experience for me as a teacher that I asked to come back to Asia, and they said, okay, come back to Asia. But then I had to wait for 2 years until the pandemic went away. I've been here for 1 year, and I've been to many places in Vietnam already. And I'm doing the same thing with them as I'm doing with you, giving workshops and lectures. You can see the little hearts in Cambodia because I went there recently. It was my first time in Cambodia, and it was such a great time. I saw the culture with the temples and beautiful artifacts you have. I tasted your food. I met a handful of students in Siem Reap as well, and it was a nice time. And in fact, that's why I come to you today, because I met some people who's in Phnom Penh who said, okay, you can come and meet some students from Phnom Penh and give a short lecture, and that's why I'm here today. All right, so this is how to deliver effective presentations. Also, at any time, you can drop your questions at this link here, or you can send them to the person in charge, I think is Mr. Dina. And we can have a Q&A at the end. All right. And I translated this from Google Translate. I don't know Khmer. I wish I did. But it's just so you get the point of what I'm saying, okay? Just in case your English level is at the beginning level. Every lecture or workshop has a goal. So your goal will be to practice being confident in public speaking. All right, so in the introduction, you were told that, you know, you will use public speaking in many parts of your life. not only in school, but when you get out of school. So it's very important that you use public speaking. Now, what I'm going to show you are techniques and skills that you can apply to all the times that you're going to speak. And that is how you stand, how you project, what you look like in your face. Those things are what I'm going to show you in the time we have. It's not much time, but I can give you some points. All right, so quickly, our welcome is happening now. We're going to build up public speaking through a series of very short activities so you can feel comfortable. And then I'll give you time to practice. You'll need something to write on, maybe like a notebook or a piece of paper. You'll also be asked to join Google Classroom, where you can send some questions, but also, more importantly, download some resources that you can use later. Then we have our summary and reflection at the end. All right, so this presentation is for an in-class presentation. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there in Phnom Penh with you physically. So we're going to change this activity to shift it over to the Google Classroom, because we're not together in one room. What I wanted you to do is state your name and your hobby and how many siblings you have, but we're going to skip that and go straight to our Google Classroom. Okay. All right, here we are. What you can do is take your phone and snap the QR code, and you'll be brought to the Google Classroom. If you use Google Classroom a lot, then you just open up your email and go to the area where you open the Google Classroom, and you can type in the code. So I'll give you 30 seconds to take a picture of that with your camera. And then I'll shift the view to the actual Google Classroom, and I'll show you what to do next. Once you're in the Google Classroom, you can go to the stream and just say hello. What's your name, right? And what is the most difficult part of giving a presentation for you? You can use the prompt that's there. You can say, hi, my name is, and the most difficult part of a presentation for me is what? It'll help me help you better if you tell me what you would like to know. All right, so let's go to the Google Classroom. This is what it looks like. If you need the code one more time, this is the code right here. If you use a chat on this, you can send it to a person that's still having an issue. Okay, if you don't know how to do this, and some students don't, all you have to do is go to your email. Just go to your Gmail email. This is my teacher account, so you can see that some people have logged in already. You drop down to this menu that says Classroom, and then you'll have a choice here, the plus, create or join a class. Join a class, and you put the code there that I gave you. All right, just put the code there, and then you'll be brought to this space. I've used this classroom before. It's the same topic, but you'll be joining other students who already mentioned something on the comments here. So for example, here, Vyasna Chan said, clarity and confidence. Yes, definitely a challenge we can address today. All right. So you can see I did this back in December, but I have two people from today's workshop who logged in. It would be great for you to log in, because if you don't, you won't get access to the classwork here. There's nothing graded. It's not a class, it's a workshop. I'll just give you things that you can use later. Right? So this is the file, and they're broken up into different tabs. Public speaking. There's a self-needs analysis. There's presentation parts. Maybe we do this today, maybe not, depending on time. And then if you were in a classroom together with the teacher who's watching, they can access this analyze a speech worksheet for you. And then at the last, there's a reflection on Google Form here. All right. At the very top, you can see that the public speaking skills, this one, you can open and download, right? So this is an example of what we would have done in the classroom, but we can do this here on Zoom with some paper that you have. Just copy down the information. I'm sorry that it's sideways. But you can see that you can download it or look at it and transcribe it on paper, right? And also this paper here. These are what we're going to use to scale ourselves or grade ourselves. You're going to first think about what you need to work on. Is it confidence stance? I'll explain that in a bit. Your smile, your eye contact, your pausing, or your gestures. These 5 elements seem to be those that are most important when you make a public speech. So be sure you can get on the Google Classroom. So let's refresh and see how many other people joined. Okay. Some people fall asleep. Your friend's always sleepy. Okay. That has to do with the activities you have, one, and also the manner in which you present. So let me give you some tips on that in this presentation. Okay, some people say show facial expression. Okay, that has to do with being comfortable. So you need some practice so that you'll be calm knowing what you're supposed to say, and then focus on really smiling. All right, understanding the audience. Yeah. If you mean reading the room, that comes with some practice. Understanding your audience I'm assuming that you already know who you're going to talk to. If you can ask a little bit more questions, like whoever invited you to the conference, you can ask them what does the audience want to know specifically. That way you can understand them more. All right, so this tells me that some of you don't know where to put the response. Underneath the prompt here, you can put under add class comment, that's where you would put it. But that's okay, you can just comment however you can. Confidence pronunciation, shy when I speak face to face to a lot of people. Yes, this is all common. Everyone's very shy when they first speak to people, especially in a big crowd. And you forget something. Okay. That comes with practice and also the notes that you have with you. All right, looks like practice here. Say the words that I want to say. Confidence, yep. Okay, so a lot of you are saying the same thing, which is not a surprise because we're all human and we're all at first scared speaking in front of people. So I know that some of you have some difficulty, but I'm going to move on. Try to join when you can, because it's the only way you can get access to these resources here. Okay, so let's move on to the presentation. All right, so let's get into the public speaking. I want you to think about what makes a good presentation. What makes a good presentation? You've seen people talk before, maybe on YouTube, maybe on TikTok. You keep watching them, right? Why? What makes them good? How can you do this kind of the same? When you're looking at the video on YouTube or TikTok or wherever, Facebook, you can see that you're not falling asleep. What is that person doing that's not making you sleep? This is what you should also do. Okay. So we're going to just practice ourselves. If you're with someone, it would be great to practice with that person. And I want you to practice. There's no one else watching you. Okay, so you just practice, even though I can't hear you, but really I know what you're saying because I've given this before. And I'm not even going to ask you to speak in English. It's going to be just blah, blah, right? Now, I'm going to give you a signal. When I say 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, you say 1, 2, eyes on you. And then you stop what you're doing and pay attention to what I'm saying. This works in the classroom, by the way. Let's practice. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. And I know you're muted. You can say 1, 2, eyes on you.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Okay, some of you are
1, 2, eyes on you.
fine. That's great. It's a great example. Thank you. And then if when you're paying attention, I can say thank you for your eyes and thank you for your eyes, because you're paying attention to what comes next. All right, we're going to talk a nonsense word, blah. It's just blah, 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 right? You've heard blah, blah, blah before. This is a way just to get you to make some sounds out of your voice. You don't have to put the microphone on, but it's okay if you do. If you're with someone, even better, but pretend you're having a conversation. Just say blah, 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 as if you're saying something interesting. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, go ahead. I don't have to hear you, but go ahead.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. You want to have a conversation with me with blah, blah? Watch
Yeah, blah, blah,
watch
blah.
the intonation. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, say something. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
Blah, blah,
blah.
blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's right. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's kind of fun. So 20 more seconds. I know that you're some of you are nervous. No one's hearing you, but you still won't do this exercise. So just do it. Just say blah, 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 blah. I love it. I hear it in the background. That's great. Blah, 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 blah. 3 seconds, and minutes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
One, two, eyes on you.
Eyes on you. Good. So it does work online too. All right. So all you had to do was say the blah, blah, right? Normally, when we're together, I'll have you switch partners, but we can't do that. It'll look like that, but we're not going to do that. It's more fun if, we're together, but it's okay. All right. So one thing we're going to do is build up your speaking skills. So you're going to say this, like, my name is, and you know what your name is. Like, I would say, my name is Mr. Lim. I study at, and in your case, you study at AIB. And today I'm going to talk to you about speaking skills or whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to give you a chance to talk about anything you want later, but this is just the beginning. It's just the very beginning to introduce yourself to the audience. So again, you're writing this down or you memorize it. My name is Mr. Lim. I study at AIB, and today I'm going to talk to you about public speaking. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute to write this down and practice by yourself or with a partner, wherever you are. And I have a timer here for 1 minute. Hope it works. Yeah, it works. So go ahead, do that. Just practice. You know your name. You know where you study. If anybody is ready, you can unmute and you can practice right now with everybody. Does anyone want to be an example?
Okay, so let me.
Good. Okay, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Tia Saboripong. I study at Esilida Institute of Business that we call AIB. And today I'm going to talk to you about my daily life.
Okay, excellent. Your daily life. I love that.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Sorry about the alarm. I was paying attention more to what you were saying than the alarm, but yeah, that's perfect. Anybody else? Anybody else? One more and then we can move on. Such a shy crowd. There's like over 50 of you here. Would the moderator like to nominate someone? Oh, someone wants to volunteer? Go ahead.
My name is Konsupip.
Yep.
I study at IIB, and today I'm going to talk about my friends.
Good. That's perfect. Very good. Very good. Yeah, so it's quite easy. Don't be shy. Thank you for your participation, everyone. All right, so the first thing I want you to take notes on, the first thing is how you stand, okay? I'm going to introduce you to 4 skills, that's the 4S, and the 1H, right? So the first S is your confident stance. That's how you stand. For example, the drawing on the right is a woman. She's in business. She's standing confidently. You can see that she even has her hand on her face like that. You can do that sometimes. And that's kind of confident, right? So let me give you the definition of what a confident stance is. And we're going to practice that. Okay, so the confident stance, your feet are usually shoulder width apart, the width of your shoulders, not together, but apart. And your shoulders are back. So practice in your seat. We're going to stand up in a second, but I want you to practice in your chair. Your shoulders are back, and your spine is the bones that go up and down your back. It's straight. And your chin, where that lady is holding, that's your chin. It's slightly lifted. It's not down. Okay, it's slightly lifted up. And your arms can be at your side, or you can hold them in front of you. Okay, so first is your feet. Make sure you're standing, shoulder width apart, shoulders are back, spine is straight, your chin is slightly lifted, and your arms are at your side or you're holding them. So let's try to stand up and do that. I'm going to stand up too. I know the camera's on and I can't see if I'm going to be in full frame or not, but let's try it. Oh, okay, I can see my camera now. So wherever you are, just stand up. I'm going to stand up too. And
Can you see me? I'm
okay.
standing up.
You're standing up? Okay, I can't see you.
Yeah.
All right, so if I were in the classroom, it would be like this, right? So let's review again. Your feet, where are they? Your feet, not like this. This is very unstable. Don't put them together. Never. Apart like that. Or if you really want to, you can be a little shifted. Okay? Shifted, but your feet are still apart. And then shoulders are back, right? Good, I can see some of you. Shoulders are back. And your spine is straight. Straight. You're not like this. Never, never. This, right? If you need to go against the wall and make sure your back is straight, do that. That's a good practice for you. Good practice for you. Your feet, your shoulders, your back, feet, shoulders, back, and then your chin. Chin is a little bit up, not too far, but not low either. Just a little bit up to help your voice go to the very end of the room. Okay? Now your hands, they can be at your side like this, but you can also put them together if you prefer. This is fine. When you're demonstrating something, you can use one hand, right? Or you can use the other hand. We're just talking about how you're standing, not anything else on your face, just standing. So one more time. It's good to memorize these because when you're actually giving your presentation, it's hard to memorize everything. So memorize these from your feet up. Feet, shoulders, back, straight spine, and chin slightly lifted, and your arms in a comfortable position, right? I hope you're practicing along. Don't be shy. You're not even saying anything. You're just standing, right? So let's practice that. once you're comfortable, I'll show you other ways to stand, maybe on one foot. You can stand on one foot so you don't look too rigid. So you can stand on one foot as you make a gesture. And you also can stand on the other foot to make another gesture. Or down. I prefer my hands like this. I think I look too weird doing this. So this is not my favorite, but you can do it if you feel more comfortable. I'm more comfortable like this, right? So since we're on this, some things you shouldn't do. Don't do this. Not good. Don't put your hands on your hips because that doesn't look nice. Or don't put them in your pocket. That doesn't look nice either. Okay. So all you have to do, basically, the basic stance is your feet, shoulders, back, chin, and your arms. All right, did you get that? I hope you wrote enough notes so that you can practice that by yourself. So let's move on to the next thing. Well, actually, this is just a quick review. If you're taking notes, you're standing comfortably. And the second S in our 4 S's is speak loudly. Now, speaking loudly means not shouting, but speaking in a way that your voice projects all the way to the end of the room. How do you do that? You do that with your diaphragm. Okay, so let me stand up again. I'll show you where the diaphragm is. Let me move my screen up so I can see myself. Now, when you're speaking at any time, you speak from this part of your stomach, right? You can put your hand there, and then put your hand on your chest area. Normally people talk from up here, from their lungs. Okay, but if you move your breath down, let's practice. Breathe in and breathe out and just relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Try to bring your breath down to your stomach. Okay, so when you're breathing, you can see your stomach go, right? Now, when you speak, try to speak with the air coming out of your stomach instead of coming out of your chest. All right? That's what I'm doing now in order for me to reach the microphone. When I'm saying what I'm saying, you can put your hand on your stomach as well. When I'm saying what I'm saying, your stomach should decrease. When I'm saying what I'm saying, my stomach is decreasing. Your voice gets louder and it's more powerful to the ears who are listening to you. If you speak up here, people won't even hear you or they won't even listen to you because your voice is a little high, right? So breathe in and speak with your diaphragm voice. Your voice goes lower and people can hear you. All right, so that's what I mean by number 2, speak loudly. Okay, so let's move on to the next item. Smile. That's super important, and we forget to do that. You need to smile at your audience. When you're smiling, it makes a difference to their perception of you, okay? So let's move on to the next. Eye contact, of course. We lift our chin up because we need to see the audience and they need to see you looking at them. If you don't know your talk, you're going to be reading your paper like this and no one's going to listen to you and they're going to fall asleep. Because when when your head is like this and your eyes are on your paper, you're not breathing from your diaphragm and they're not listening to you. So all of this has to come together. And it starts with your stance and your ability to speak loudly with your diaphragm voice. Then you can smile, then you can look at your audience. All right, so those are the 4 S's: stand, speak, smile, and see. The hand gesture is the 1H because I couldn't find a word with S. Otherwise, it'd be 5 S's. So the hand gesture is really important too. Once you get everything in the right place when you're standing, you can think about your hands, okay? All right. I put little pictures here to show you that you're speaking confidently, you're smiling, you're making eye contact, and you're using your hand gestures. Okay, now I want you to grade yourself. Oh, I'm going to give this signal I'm not going to use here because we don't have time. But it also works in a classroom. If you can hear my voice, clap once, and the students clap. Okay. We're going to practice our stance with the alphabet speech. We're going to practice with our alphabet speech. You're going to give a short speech to your partner, and I want you to focus on the 4 S's and the 1H. You're going to say the alphabet as if you're saying something really important. I didn't ask you to speak English. I'm going to ask you to say the alphabet in a way that is convincing. So I'll give you an example. Welcome and thank you for coming to this presentation. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Thank you very much for listening. Do you have any questions? All right. So I know it seems a little bit silly, but good thing that no one's watching you. I want you to practice this for 1 minute. Okay. Just practice this for 1 minute in the privacy of wherever you are. If you're with people, they will probably laugh, which is fine. But let's practice for 1 minute. Go ahead. It's better if you stand. So practice standing. Practice standing. Okay. You can practice this anytime. Okay. Oh, that's going to the YouTube. All right. I did want to show you an example of this. In your Google Classroom, there's a video on how to sound smart when you're speaking. Let's watch this for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Sorry. I don't know where that's coming from. Oh, it's coming from here. Sorry. Maybe it's good that he interrupted. He was interrupted. I want you to pay attention to what the man is saying and how he's saying it. More importantly, how is he saying things? And do they relate to the 4 S's and the 1 H that I gave you? How is he saying it? Let's listen for another 30 seconds. Oh no. I don't know why. I should
Maybe
actually
because of the
that.
internet.
Maybe, yeah. Well, anyway, that was a good place to stop because what he's saying is actually nothing. Like he keeps saying, "I have nothing for." He's not showing you anything. He's showing you something, but he's not talking about anything. So in our stance, look how he's standing. He's standing in a way that is engaging. So you can see where his hands went, right? It's not flailing around. He's keeping his hands together, but when he needs to show you something, his hand goes up, right? And also he did other things like play with his glasses to make him seem a little bit more like he's pausing for you to like, look what he's saying, right? He's pausing for emphasis. And he's also inflecting his voice. All right, so he's engaging the audience with a question. He asks them, you know, like a question. Have you ever been asked a question before? Of course, we all have, right? But it's still a question. You can engage your audience that way. There was a question before in our stream. How can you engage your audience? You can ask them some questions, right? Okay. When you get a chance, you can see more of that video, but that was just a demonstration on how you can stand and effectively just say the alphabet letters and not say anything, but people can pay attention to you just by how you're speaking. And that comes from this, you're standing and you're speaking loudly with your diaphragm, you're smiling, and you're looking at the audience, and plus your hand gestures. So all those things come together. And I'm not even talking to you about what you're saying. It's just how you're saying it. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Hopefully, I'm looking at the clock. Maybe we'll be a little bit into our Q&A, but I want you to write something on your paper that you're going to actually practice. And then practice the stance and practice your talk without anyone listening to you unless you have someone next to you, right? So I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to write on whatever you want. Could be your family, it could be a vacation, could be school, could be what you did this weekend, right? What's important is that you have a beginning, middle, end, right? And you practice. So let's do that. I'm going to put the silly timer on again. I'm going to do it on my phone. No, then you can't see it. Let's do the timer like 2 times. So you have 2 minutes. for my other presentations, I'm going to select a different timer because this one's annoying with the siren. All right, go ahead. Write something on your notebook. Something that will remind you of the topic. And then we're going to practice. I hate this timer. All right, so you should be halfway through. I'll give you 1 more minute. I'm gonna watch it next time. Well, I don't want to see him. Okay, it's not cooperating. Well, I'm going to put it on my phone and just tell you how much time we have. So another 30 seconds to write about whatever you want to talk about. Another 15 seconds. All right, so that's enough time just to put some notes down. Now, I want you to stand up wherever you are. You can even have your notes with you. And you can practice your stance and your talk. I'll just demonstrate. I won't say anything, but I just want you to practice your standing with your notes. If you have to have notes, this is how you hold them. Remember, your feet are shoulder width apart. You're standing up straight, shoulders back. And you're smiling, eye contact, chin up a little, right? All that's fine. What do you do with your hands if you have notes? You hold them like this and don't move. You don't have to move. You can switch hands if you need to, right? But don't do this because it's distracting. And people do this and they get nervous. You look nervous when you do this, right? So just keep it still. And if you have to look down, I'll let you talk for like 2 minutes about your topic. Make sure you are projecting using your voice in your diaphragm and eye contact. You're at home, I don't see you, but I know you're practicing. So let's do that for 2 minutes. And then we can have our question answer. Okay, 1 more minute to practice. Keep talking, 1 minute. Notice your body. Realign if you have to. All right, another 30 seconds. Winding up 10 seconds. 5. All right. Now, if we were doing this on another platform like Zoom, I could put you in breakout rooms. It would have been a little bit more interesting, but that's okay. What I want you to do is grade yourself. You may not have done this before, which is okay, but I want you to grade yourself on how you did in this self-needs analysis. The self-needs analysis is just a paper with the items that we had, right? You can grade yourself. Are you very confident in making a good first impression? Are you writing an engaging introduction? These are a little bit more technical. If we had more time, I would have gone into this. You'll find that if you fill this out, being confident, very confident, not confident, you can know which part of public speaking you need to work on. The fourth one is organizing your presentation. And then integrating visuals. This is for presentation like charts, pictures, PowerPoints. Are you good at that? That's very important in your presentations. And then concluding, ending your presentation. Are you good at that? And dealing with questions. All right, so these are some points. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 or 7 points. Maybe you can add another one that you need to be aware of when you are speaking publicly. If you're very confident in some of these, you don't have to practice them because you're already confident, right? So assess yourself. Are you not confident in all of these? And this is what you have to work on. At least you know what you need to work on instead of saying, oh, I'm just not good at public speaking. Well, what is it that's not making it good? I remember the comment from earlier, the audience is falling asleep. Well, did you write an engaging introduction? Is it something that they want you to talk about? Is it something that is interesting for them? So you need to work on actually what you're saying, right? That's the next part. We spent an hour here just trying to look like you are speaking fluently and engagingly in public. That took an hour. If we had another moment, like another workshop, then we can talk about what you put in, like your slides, right? But like I said, I can't give you everything I know in the span of time that we have. But at least I can give you this confident smile or confident stance, smile, eye contact, pausing, and gestures where your hand goes in the time we have. So we were supposed to do this. If we were in a classroom, I would have had you each grade your partner on their stance, on their smiling, their eye contact, their pausing after whatever they're saying, and their gestures, your hand gestures. If you're a teacher observing and you want to include this in your classroom, the resources are in the Google Classroom here that you can use freely to include a little bit of public presentation skills in the class that you teach. You can teach this in an English class, you can teach this in a finance class, whatever, just a little bit at a time. And your students can get more and more familiar and more comfortable speaking in front of the class. At some point, you'll want to have them rate themselves. If it's 4, excellent, right? If it's smiling or eye contact, you give them grades. You can give yourself grades, and you can see where you can improve. For example, here the gestures. Are you waving your hands too much? It needs improvement. Okay, but hey, you know, you got a 4 and excellent on your pausing, so you know that the audience is listening to you with a little bit of pause. So that's a good skill to have as well. These grading sheets, these feedback sheets are here in the Google Classroom. You can see here the drop down, the presentation parts, and the presentation analysis. They're all here in case you want to bring it into your classroom. That's how you find your goal. If you have a low score, then you will work on that, right? I hope that thing won't stop. Oh, okay, so as we wrap up here, I hope that you can reflect on what you learned today. It's very like the first lesson maybe in public speaking, but it's very important. Remember the video that we looked at, the man who was saying nothing, but he was saying it in such a way that you keep watching. The way he stands, the way he's smiling at you, the way he questions you. That's all part of how you need to speak. I'll ask you what your favorite activity is. We didn't do much today, but I would say mine would be just knowing how to stand when you're giving a presentation. And I wonder if any of you will try any of these to improve your public speaking. Okay, so I think with the time we have left, I know that we got into the Q&A portion a little bit late, but if you had some questions, go ahead and ask. So Mr. Dina or the moderator, you can encourage some questions if they have any.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Frederic, for giving us the meaningful workshop. On behalf of all participants and lecturers here, I would like to wish you health and success in all your tests. Thank you. So this is our last agenda, which is Q&A session. So all participants, if you have any question regarding this topic, you can ask, or you can drop the question in the chat box, or press the raise hand button to ask orally. Thank you. And you have 15 minutes for your Q&A session.
Yes, I hear you. Just chime in.
Okay, anyone who want to ask the question, please raise your hand. So my team will like report your question if you cannot talk.
participant យើងអាចសួរជាខ្មែរក៏បានដែរណាហើយចាំមើលឲ្យគ្នាគាត់ជួយបកអង់គ្លេសឲ្យបាទបើសិនជាអាចសួរអង់គ្លេសបានជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសណាបាទអញ្ចឹងចង់សួរសូមលើកដៃបាទអរគុណច្រើន
Okay, so let our students name Tria Tong Su, please ask your question. Thank you.
Is your microphone muted, Shaya?
Oh, sorry, I'm mute. What we can do if we stuck during speech?
Can you re-ask the question, please? I didn't get all of it.
I mean, if we presentation but we stuck during a speech, what we can instead of stuck, and what we can do of it.
When you get stuck?
Yes.
When I get stuck, I just take a deep breath. A breath helps you. Take a deep breath and take a look at what you just presented on your slide, and then hopefully your memory will remember what comes next. It's good to have your notes with you, so you can look at them, but don't read your notes. Did that answer your question? I'm not sure.
Yes. I got
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I have another question.
Yes.
How about the grammar? If we have some grammar error, did it affect to the presentation or not?
Not if it's a small one. I mean, people know that English is not your first language. If you do this in English, people know that English is not your first language, so they're more forgiving in that sense. So I wouldn't be too nervous about the grammar, as long as it's not confusing, So it's a good idea to write out what you want to talk about, and then have a friend or your professor quickly read it over, and then with that you can practice with it. And after you practice, you can focus more on the way you stand and you're smiling and engaging with the audience. Yeah, so don't worry too much about the grammar.
Thank you for giving me advice.
Okay, so
Yes.
thank you, Tongsu, for your question, and thank you, Mr. Frederick, for your answer as well. So if
Sure.
everyone have another question, please raise your hand and ask. Thank you.
If you're still thinking, let me invite you to the Facebook that we have. I created this one for teaching, and sometimes I post things there that relate to either teaching English or to improving your teaching. I mean, improving your pronunciation and presentation skills. So if you're friends, then occasionally you can get some tips. I usually post 2 or 3 times during the week just to remind you of things that you can do. And it's actually, this classroom will be open. I won't close it. You can always download the information here, and I will add the slides of today in the top part here. So I will add that to you, add that here so you can take a look at it later.
Okay, so for the student called Soup here, you can unmute yourself and ask the question to Mr. Frederic. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead if you have a question. My phone is buzzing. People are joining on Facebook.
Excuse me, students called
Yes.
Soup here. Could you please unmute yourself for asking a question?
Yeah, unmute if you.
I would like to ask, what should I do when I get nervous?
I can't hear you.
I would like to ask, what should I do?
I heard what should I do, but then I don't know what else.
Visa អាចដាក់សំណួរក្នុងបក់ក៏បានដែរក្នុង chat ណាដោយសារវាកង់ខ្លាំងពេកមែនតើ
I think that Vishal, you can ask your friend to help.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me now?
Yes.
I would like to ask, what should I do when I get nervous when I do a presentation?
Okay, that's a very common question. Well, first you need to practice. So assuming you practice, assuming that you have a good presentation slides, when you get nervous, try to breathe and then picture someone that you like in the audience. And if it helps you through the first maybe 15, 10 minutes, imagine just talking to that person that you like. It could be your mom, could be your sister, could be your brother. Even if they're not there, you can imagine they're there and you're talking to them. Okay, but be sure you look at the very far end of the room. Pretend they're in the last seat, that person that you like, your mom or whoever, and talk to them. That will immediately put your body at ease because you're thinking you're just talking to your mom, you're just talking to your best friend, right? And yeah, what's important is have them imaginarily in the back of the room. That way your voice projects and the other people will think you're looking at them, even though you're looking at the back of the room. That should help you calm down and not be so nervous. I hope that helps you. Anything else? Moderator, are you there? Mr. Dina, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
My eye is on you.
Oh, your eyes are on me. Okay, that's great. You remember 1, 2, 3 eyes on me. Yeah, you should use that in your class.
Okay, so no question, everyone. Don't be shy. If you have any question in your mind,
I
please
see a
ask.
raised hand. Noon Bunoy.
Yeah, teacher.
Yes.
Benoit, please.
I want to ask you one question, teacher. Can
Sure.
I ask you?
Yes, please.
Yes, teacher. Why we need to when we do presentation, why we need to do hand or sorry, teacher. When we do presentation, why we need to make action like move hand or smiling or look at to focus someone. Why we need to do this?
Okay. For body language then.
Yeah, the body language is quite important because you can tell if a speaker does not have good body language. For example, I'll give you an example. I'm going to stand up. If I give you a speech without any body language, I just stand like this and read. Are you going to pay attention to me? I don't think so. So that's why if you engage with the audience, look at them and speak to them, they want to listen to you, right? And with the hands like this, it emphasizes your words. You see, when I just say this, I emphasize the fact that this is important to you, right? You can even do this. I'm like, that's a good question. That's a good question. But let me tell you, this is the answer, right? So see, I'm doing this, and then I'm telling you something. You're watching me and you're paying attention. So you become more interesting as a speaker instead of just reading, or reading your slides is the worst. It's the worst. Don't read your slides. You're confidently speaking and your slides will be there with some words, but not every sentence, right? So that's why body language is important, to engage your audience more, as if you're talking to them like one person at a time instead of your whole class. Okay, so I'd like you to practice that body language and see the difference. Use it and then see the difference. Maybe your students will be more attentive, right? And let us know how you do. Did that answer your question? I hope so.
Okay, so Bonai, did Mr. Frederic answer your question?
Yes, I get. But I want to ask more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, please go ahead. Thank you.
I want to ask about pronunciation. Sometimes when I practice to presentation, my pronunciation is not good. But how I do it to be good about pronunciation?
Well, I can give you an answer, but it requires you to be consistent, practicing. You need to practice your pronunciation even 10 minutes a day about your pronunciation. There's an app that you can use to practice every day. And I'm trying to look for it here. Yeah, it's an English speaking app. It's free. I don't know if you can see the camera here, but It looks like this. In my other presentation, I link it to you, but I will put it in your Google Classroom, so you can access the link. It's English speaking practice, and I'll give you the website. It's talkenglish.com. Talkenglish.com. You can practice that. Let me see if I can find it on the site. So yeah, this is the website, talkenglish.com. And you can go down here. It says apps for Androids and iPhone. And you can download the appropriate app depending on your phone. Okay, this is an ad, this thing right here. So see, useful apps for learning English. Here, English speaking practice, Android or iPhone or iPad. I use Android, so I would go here. All right. You should practice with this because it's very helpful. There's some conversations that they have and small conversations. You can record yourself, you listen, and then you also can record yourself. Listen for comprehension. You can practice with the app. You don't need another person. You don't need a teacher. You just practice with the app, the conversation, and you can record yourself. And you can listen to it. Does it sound like the person who's talking? You can also send your recording to your teacher if you have an English teacher. Okay, so it's free as far as I know. Hopefully it's free in Cambodia, but it's one of the better apps that I've seen for English speaking practice. One of the secrets is to practice this every single day. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, but you need to do the practice. Otherwise, your pronunciation is not going to improve. It's same with going to the gym, right? If you go to the gym every day or every other day, or even walking every day, it will improve your health little by little. Same thing with English pronunciation. So I'm glad that you asked that question. I will add this website to our resources in our classroom here. Okay, so let me add that here, link, and you can go to that link. There you go. Thank you very much for that question.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Frederic, for your answer, and thank you, Benoit, for your question. Okay, so now you have a last question because we are running out of time now. So let's ask Mr. Frederic. Thank you.
Oh, I see a hand. Sovan Sri.
Okay. Yeah, so let's go. Sister Suvan Sri, you can ask Mr. Frederic a question. Please unmute yourself.
Can you give me some advice how to fix my problem when my mind become forgot what I want to say during presentation?
Your presentation? I didn't get all your question because of the transmission. Can you repeat? You need help in what?
Yes. Can you give me some advice how to fix my problem when my mind become forgot what I want to say during presentation?
Oh, when you forget something. Well, that comes from being nervous mostly. It helps if you had like on your PowerPoint, maybe a signal. If you have a signal on your PowerPoint to remind you to ask something, maybe I can. Sometimes I plant these in. I put the a little symbol in my PowerPoint to remind me, oh, I have to ask that question. You can plant it in your PowerPoint. I'm trying to find a good example. Oh, I found one here. So you can see that I put down in here, it says repeat 3 times. I sometimes forget that. So I put it here, nobody even looks at that. But for me, I see that, oh, I have to remind myself to repeat this activity 3 times, right? And one more. I think I put it here. It says group photo. Sometimes I forget to ask my students to take a group photo, so I need to put this there to remind me, okay, we take a group photo. So see, if you put some signal on your PowerPoint, no one will see it, but you will see it. When you practice, remember where you get stuck, or you can't remember. Maybe you put something on your slide to remind you. So I hope that helps you.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, once again, please join the Google Classroom, and if you want, join the Facebook, and I can answer more questions.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Frederic. And I think this is our last, because we're running out of time now.
Yeah.
So I would like to announce that today's workshop has come to the end. Thanks for attending today's workshop. I wish you good health and success in all your tasks. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Federic. Okay, I hope you
Yeah,
will
thank
have
you so
some
much.
time. Okay, sometime stay in
Yeah.
Cambodia. Okay.
Thank you. I
Make
hope
sure
I
you
can
stop
visit
by
Cambodia.
time.
Yeah. And also you can visit AIB, our campus here. We will tour you around the campus.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah. Let's keep in touch, okay, through the email. And if you have, time to be here, don't forget to email us. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you can also you can write the embassy. You can ask my boss if he's going to send me there, and that's okay.
Okay. So Casey, you have something to talk for the last goodbye? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't unmute yourself.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you. I'm going to
Okay.
ask a picture from before. I hope I
Yeah.
get a picture for later.
Oh, I have already sent you all the photos.
Oh, you
Oh,
did? Thank you
Yeah,
so
in the
much. You're so
Telegram group.
efficient.
Okay, you can check. Chat, yes, Telegram chat. You can
Oh,
check.
I got it.